105 persons dead, 55 injured in Jigawa tanker explosion. Houses and vehicles burnt as petrol tanker explodes on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And Oko Jumbo led Rivers State House of Assembly to sanction Amewule Group over defection. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Chikun. We begin in Jigawa State, where 150 people, including children, have died and dozens injured after an overturned gasoline tanker truck exploded in flames while they were trying to scoop up fuel pouring from the vehicle. According to the police spokesperson Lawan Adam, the incident occurred at about 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday night in Majia town when the tanker driver lost control near Kadija University. Residents then rushed to the scene and were scooping up fuel, sparking a massive inferno. The police spokesperson added that a mass burial has been organized for the dead ones, while some injured persons have also been taken to the Federal Medical Center, Birnin Kudu, for treatment. Meanwhile, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokpobere, has directed the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to investigate the tragic petrol tanker explosion, adding that the Nigerian government will continue working closely with all relevant stakeholders to enforce stricter safety measures and prevent future occurrences. Still on the Jigawa tanker explosion, the Nigerian Senate has called on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials to surviving victims of the explosion. The upper legislative chamber reached these resolutions on Wednesday after a debate on a motion sponsored by Senator representing Jigawa North, Babangida Hussein. It also urged the National Orientation Agency to carry out adequate sensitization on the dangers of scooping fuel from falling trucks.
That this catastrophic inferno occurred around 10 p.m. when the residents of the area trooped out en masse to the accident scene to scoop fuel from the ill-fated tanker. And while this was on, the tanker exploded, resulting in massive fire, which was quite difficult to control by the available facilities in the area. Further notes that the explosion resulted in the death of about 100 people, whose bodies were burnt beyond recognition, leaving about 300 people with varying degrees of burns and are currently receiving treatments in Birnin Kudu Federal Medical Center, General Hospital Rengim, General Hospital Hadija, and Jawun General Hospital.
Pray that God will grant solace to the families of those who lost their loved ones, and then, of course, a general fidel to those who have departed. And I want to also pray that those in hospitals will also survive. However, I think we should also call on the state government to take proactive steps to save more lives.
In a related development, an inferno from a falling tanker loaded with premium motor spirit has destroyed many vehicles in the Ibafo area of the Obafemi Owode local government area of Lagos State along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Eyewitnesses disclosed that the driver of the tanker was suspected to have fallen asleep at the wheel, causing him to lose control, which led to the tanker's fall and eventual explosion. Some persons reportedly sustained injuries from the incident. Confirming the incident in Abeokuta, the public relations officer of the Ogun State-owned Traffic Compliance and Enforcement, Babatunde Akinbiyi, said no life was lost. The House of Representatives has expressed concern over the recent hike in petroleum product prices, calling for an immediate reversal of the increase in fuel and cooking gas prices, which they say has exacerbated hardship for Nigerians and poses a threat to job security across the country. In a motion introduced by Deputy Minority Leader Aliyu Madaki and backed by 111 members, the House urged swift action to reverse the price surge. The speakers also urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to take steps to boost local refining capacity They also called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to adopt monetary policies that could help cushion the inflationary effects brought about by the fuel price increases.
Concerned that in the recent months, the prices of petrol and cooking gas have skyrocketed and continue to do so, creating an unsustainable financial burden on ordinary Nigerians and excavating the cost of living. Noting that the removal of fuel subsidies, coupled with global oil price volatility and the depreciation of the naira, has contributed significantly to the rising cost of petrol at the pump and cooking gas for households. Worried that the escalating fuel and gas prices are impacting the cost of transportation, food, essential goods, and health care, call on the Nigerian Petroleum Corporation, NNPCL, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, and other relevant agencies to expedite the repair/maintenance of domestic refineries and increase local refining capacity as a stopgap measure to reduce the dependence on imported refined petroleum products.
We consider this matter as one that is urgent and of very great importance to the Nigerian populace. Is the issue of the increase in the pump price of petroleum products, which took effect last week. And you can all agree with me that ever since this happened, particularly for those of us who are seated in these green chambers, our people have been on us. Nigerians have been groaning under the pain. Every other sector has been affected. And we are expected to discuss this issue as one that is important and urgent, else we might compel Nigerians to take the laws into their hands and discuss it on our behalf.
Following the recent increase in Nigeria's inflation rate to 32.70%, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has outlined measures to tackle the rise in inflation and strengthen the nation's banking sector while projecting a more resilient financial system by 2026. Addressing the House of Representatives Committee on Banking, Cardoso highlighted the CBN's recapitalization efforts aimed at supporting the goal of a $1 trillion economy by 2030. He also projected a 3.2% growth rate for 2024 and a 3.3% for 2025, with the non-oil sector contributing 94.3% to GDP and a 2.8% growth rate.
I want to assure you that in spite of the challenges confronting our economy, there are clear reasons for optimism. The gradual moderation in inflation, foreign exchange stability, ongoing banking sector recapitalization, and other positive trends in key sectors indicate a path towards macroeconomic growth and stability. We remain committed to staying vigilant and adaptable amidst ongoing global and domestic uncertainties. The bank will closely monitor economic developments and adjust policies as needed to achieve low and stable inflation, exchange rate stability conducive for sustainable economic growth.
In Rivers, the State House of Assembly, under the leadership of Victor Okojambo, has resolved to initiate measures against Martin Amewule and other lawmakers who announced their defection on the floor of the House on December 11, 2023. The resolution follows a motion of urgent public importance presented by the Assembly's leader, Sokari Goodboy, who called for the Assembly under Okojambo to invoke constitutional provisions to hold the lawmakers accountable for their legal violations. Goodboy argued that their actions threaten the rule of law and undermine the Assembly's efforts to restore its integrity. He further urged the House to act against the lawmakers, saying that they continued to conduct assembly proceedings despite losing their seats due to defection from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). The future of Lagos as a regional hub depends on the involvement and understanding of all stakeholders, including residents, professionals, and the private sector. This was the agreement arrived at during the Fiscal Planning Summit on Wednesday. The two-day summit with the theme Rethinking Lagos, a New Vision for a Regional and Integrated Megacity is designed to deepen engagement with relevant stakeholders in the building sector. TV360's Victoria Konde completes the report.
Gathered in this hall are various professionals, including building industry experts, government officials, as well as community leaders to identify and address challenges confronting Lagos State, including infrastructure and environmental concerns. Leading the discussions, former governor of the state, Babatunde Fashola, emphasized the need to foster sustainable planning and promote responsible urban growth to meet the demands of a rapidly expanding population.
The most important member, in my view, of the cabinet of a mega city like Lagos, the most important member, first and foremost, is the town planner. The town planner should, in my view, lead us in determining what parts of the land provides roads, schools, markets, places of worship, health facilities, recreation facilities, waste and water treatments, before deciding what is left for building dwelling houses.
The place of a town planner in that construct and how we need to ensure that they take a rightful place. We as leaders can create that opportunity for them, but they themselves as town planners must rise up, must stand up, must be counted to fully be able to take their rightful place. Because indeed, the cities are owned by them. It is only when they make those commitments and they make those first steps that all of us can follow.
The summit also featured panel discussions which focused on implementation gaps in the state operative development plans and the need to integrate technology in urban planning. Speaking further, Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, highlighted various projects both implemented and others underway in Lagos State.
As planners, we need to be audacious, we need to be ambitious, and we need to be very creative and ensuring that we can indeed plan for the future. We can plan to build cities where centers like this can be replicated, entertainment centers can be further built. I want to assure you, sir, that those plans are ongoing, and my last trip was also to sign an MOU that will go into a contract where the construction of a modern international convention center for Lagos will start very, 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 very soon.
Other speakers emphasized the need to explore innovative strategies for shaping the future of Lagos as a sustainable, well-coordinated megacity.
The summit is thus aimed at better positioning the state for investment as proposed in our ODPs. It has brought experts in the field of urban planning, resilience, development partnership, legal and policy analysis, risk management, project financing, governance to explore options available for implementation of the ODPs for sustainable development. Consequently,
as the population in Lagos State increases, summits like this create a platform for evaluation of developmental initiatives and position the state for investments. Victoria Akonde, TV360 News, Lagos.
Still in Lagos, the State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says there is a need for collaborative effort and innovation to sustainably scale up agricultural production to meet demand while improving food supply chain and security. The governor said this at an event organized to commemorate the 2024 World Food Day on Wednesday. According to him, the World Food Day is a time to celebrate and appreciate the nation's resilient farmers while also bringing up a conversation on the need to begin to ensure that food is affordable and accessible.
It's first by looking internally. We have since rebranded the Ministry of Agriculture to now be known as the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. We do not want that important ministerial role to just be lost in agriculture. So they know that they are not just a Ministry of Agriculture, but it's a Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. This rebranding allows us to prioritize food systems management, enhance mechanization, improve food safety, and ultimately drive down food prices. So you can see that our strategy is also speaking to our policy as a state. We are also implementing a food system transformational agenda, which is aimed at building a resilient and a secure food ecosystem for all the citizens in Lagos State.
Urge all stakeholders, including investors, researchers, farmers, fishers, agro-processors, and donor agencies, to join us in the transformative agenda. Your participation in today's celebration is invaluable and greatly appreciated, as it sufficiently contributes to our shared goal of promoting food security and building sustainable food system. Your engagement remains crucial. Let us continue on this path together, one that will re-establish agriculture as the foundation of Nigeria's economy. This sector has played a vital role in Lagos' remarkable growth of providing employment and drive economic expansion.
It's time for a short break, but coming up, UN Secretary General charges world government on production and sale of healthy, nutritious food at affordable prices. Stay with us for details when News Now returns. Welcome back. Here's a reminder of our top stories. 150 people, including children, have died and dozens injured after an overturned gasoline tanker truck exploded in flames while they were trying to scoop up fuel pouring from the vehicle. According to the police spokesperson Lawan Adam, the incident occurred at about 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday in Majia Town, Jigawa State, when the tanker driver lost control near Khadija University. The police spokesperson added that a mass burial has been organized for the late victims, while some injured persons have also been taken to the Federal Medical Center, Burning Kudu, for treatment. We also told you that an inferno from a falling tanker loaded with premium motor spirit, also called petrol, has destroyed many vehicles in the Ibafo area of the Obafemi Awode local government area of the state along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Some persons reportedly sustained injuries from the explosion. Confirming the incident in Abeokuta, the public relations officer of the Ogun State-owned Traffic Compliance and Enforcement, Babatunde Akimbi, said no life was lost in the incident. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Let's now switch over to business news with Okwayemi Owosheni, who's on standby. Over to you, Okwayemi.
Thank you, Simisola. Welcome to Business News. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, has highlighted improvement in the nation's capital market, with the all-share index and market capitalization sustaining positive gains, reflecting renewed investors' confidence, just as the projected continued economic growth, driven by the non-oil, oil and industrial sectors. While addressing the House of Representatives Committee on Banking, Cardoso said the bank's numerous policy initiatives are yielding significant results across various sectors of the economy. He also stressed the importance of continued reforms to build a stable and prosperous Nigerian economy.
Regarding the foreign exchange market, the bank implemented various reforms, including a unification strategy, which streamlined various exchange rate windows into a single model, adopting the willing buyer, willing seller approach to enhance FX liquidity and financial market stability. This move was aimed at fostering transparency, reducing market distortions, and enhancing the efficiency of foreign exchange allocations. The consolidation involved the implementation of new operational guidelines, which included removing the IMTA quote cap. Additionally, the bank resumed the sale of FX at NAFEM and Bureau de.
We'll go on a short break now and be back with Stock Market Report.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Nigeria's equities market on Wednesday recorded its first negative close this week, pushing the index lower to 98,291.530 points. Stock investors began on Wednesday to price on the recently released Nigeria's inflation rates of September, which needs knee high. Now, leading the laggards, we see Custodian and Allied came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 8.98% at 11 naira 65 kobo per share. Now, at the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we see 257 million shares exchanged in 7,778 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 8 billion naira. Now, when compared with the previous NGX trading day, that's Tuesday, October 15th, we see today's data showing 10% decline in volume. Like a switch to a select global stock, it's a different case as the UK FTSE and the US Dow Jones recovered from previous days' losses to close in the bulls. It's a different case, however, for Nikkei as it dropped 1.83% to close in the bearish territory. Moving on to our foreign exchange market, the US traded against the Naira at 1,655 Naira 69 kobo on the official market. On the black market, the pound traded at 2,270 Naira and the euros traded at 1,860 Naira on the black market. That's it on both business and stock market report. Back to you, Semisola, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Okwayemi. And on the foreign team, the United Nations has assured that a zero-hunger world is possible if global leaders improve on efforts to tackle the inefficiencies and inequities built into global food systems. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres gave the assurance in his address to commemorate the 2024 World Food Day. According to him, food systems need a massive transformation with the contributions of all sectors to become more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable.
On World Food Day, we remind ourselves of the 733 million people who are short of food because of conflict, marginalization, climate change, poverty and economic downturns, including those who face the threat of man-made famine in Gaza and Sudan. Or the 2.8 billion people who cannot afford a healthy diet, including those who are overweight as global obesity rates soar. The good news is that a zero-hunger world is possible. The 2021 Food Systems Summit set us on a course to tackle the inefficiencies and inequities built into our food systems. Food systems need a massive transformation with the contributions of businesses, academics, research institutions, and civil society to become more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. Governments must work with all partners to incentivize the production and sale of healthy, nutritious food at affordable prices. On World Food Day, let's step up the fight against hunger and malnutrition. Let's take action to uphold the right to food for a better life and a better future.
Finally, on sports, Nigeria's House of Representatives has expressed displeasure and deep disappointment over the ill treatment of the Super Eagles in Libya ahead of the 2025 AFCON qualifier in Benghazi. The players and the entire Nigerian delegation were held hostage for more than 12 hours at the Al Abrak airport without access to food and internet. According to the chairman, House Committee on Sports, Kabiru Amadou, the behavior of the Libyans has gone beyond normal routine antics that teams do to unsettle their opponent, adding that their action was capable of endangering the lives of the Nigerian delegation.
Mr. Speaker, the following prayers were resolved. Number one, to condemn in totality the inhuman treatment, prostration of the Super Eagles of the Federation by the Libyan Football Federation. Number two, to sympathize with the Super Eagles and appreciate their patriotism. Number three, to urge the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, to make an official complaint to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, and the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA, for the dehumanization of the Super Eagles players and NFF contingent by the Libyan authorities on the 13 to 14 October 2024 in Libya. Number four, to call on the federal government of Nigeria to immediately invite the Libyan ambassador to Nigeria for questioning on the development above.
Still on sports, former Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel has been named the new head coach of the England national team. According to a statement from the country's football association, the 51-year-old, who has been out of work since leaving Bayern Munich at the end of last season, succeeds Englishman Gareth Southgate as permanent coach and becomes the third foreign manager of the Three Lions after Sven-Göran Eriksson and Fabio Capello. Tuchel will start in the role from January 1, 2025 and will be assisted by English coach Anthony Barry, who worked alongside him at Bayern. That's it on News Now. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.